So this would be a team playing right now that a year from now, maybe would look like the Rockets right now is one of the best 4 teams in the West. The Rockets was 41-41 last year. Maybe it looks like OKC last year when they won 57 games. The year before they were 40-42. Maybe it looks like Memphis in 2022 and they won 56 games. The year before they were 38-34. So a team that's around 500, maybe a little bit lower, but has some pedigree, at least one young star with a chance to be like really great. Need to be around 500. Need to have some other fun pieces, and there's 2 candidates, one for each conference. The Pistons. This is a team that Solo has been very focused on. I always admire Solo's love for really big compelling East Coast teams. They placed 10 for 15. Played a pretty hard schedule. They lost to Boston twice, lost to Milwaukee twice, lost to Cleveland, lost to Houston, lost to Memphis, lost to Orlando, split with the Knicks. And they've been hanging around a lot of these games, and Russello's been disappointed in his pod, but these early afternoon, like 4 o'clock games, are usually stuck with like whatever the 7 p.m. Eastern. So I've actually watched from Detroit and I've watched from Charlotte, and I like what Detroit has going. Better than Monty Williams is a coach.
I like Cade Cunningham.
Cade's 24 points a game, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. He has hit every sort of ceiling you would have thought he was going to hit at this point. Shooting almost 40% from 3. Like, he's just really good. He's somebody that you could build a team around. Beasley and Harris were 2 pretty smart free agent signings. They're averaging 30 a game and shooting 40% for 3. Jaden Ivey's been good. They have rebounding. And I wonder, like, if I'm them, fuck it. Do I do a trade? Do I try to get, Brandon Ingram's on a discount, Zach LaVine's on a discount, CJ McCollum's on a discount? Do I think about Jimmy Butler? They don't have to worry about any of this apron stuff. This could be another Cam Johnson team. This is actually kind of a perfect Cam Johnson team. I wonder if Detroit is going to look at what happened with Orlando and OKC the last couple of years and what's happened with Houston this year and think like, what if we make one move here? Could our ceiling increase, especially if Miami goes backwards, Indiana's already gone backwards? Could we be a top 6 team potentially? So I'm watching them. The other team is obviously Philly. He's 12-12. Which is surprising because I haven't really enjoyed watching them. Sohan, Castle, and Johnson shoot 27% for 3 combined. Chris Paul, better season than we expected, but he's old and who knows with him. But the foundation I like. They have Wendy and Castle and Harrison Barnes and Paul. So they have some good vets. They have a couple key check dudes. And they have a lot of picks. They have a shitload of picks. And I wonder, is that a Cam Johnson team? Probably not a Jimmy Butler team, but could be like a CJ McCollum team. I'm watching them to see, are they just going to be happy to be a 500 team again? I don't know why they would be, because they're going to be too good to tank. They're not going to be in the top 5 or top 6, so maybe think about going for it. Which leads me to the 6th and last thing for the 6-pack. Atlanta, a team that I really liked before the season. You probably remember from the Over Under Pod. House and I went all in on the over. A team that I mentioned last week when House and I, after $1 million picks, we talked about NBA futures. I doubled down when I was in Denver last week on FanDuel with the Atlanta Over Under stuff because it was 38.5. Right now they're 14-12. They upset the Knicks last night, and it wasn't even really an upset. I thought they kind of dominated them in the second half, and I really do wonder if that was a playoff series. I would be super scared if I was the Knicks, because they don't really have a way to control the Trae Young dribble penetration, whatever we're calling it these days. Their wings kind of match up against the Knicks wings, the Atlanta wings. They have rebounding. I think that's a dangerous matchup for them. They're 3rd in pace, which I like, and I wonder if Atlanta has a real chance to become this year's Pacers. The key for them, 2 things. One is the 3-point shooting. Daniels is only 31%. Yusuf Shea is 28%. Shea's 31%, which is bad. Hunter has been overachieving. He's 45%. But can those swings start hitting more threes? Then secondly, what are we getting from Trae? I think this is it. I think we've hit the let's figure this out once and for all moment with Trae, almost like a political candidate for an election. He's been dining off that conference finals thing for a few years now, which I think we all know happened because Embiid was super banged up. There were a couple fluky games, and Ben Simmons basically had a basketball mental breakdown and just completely lost it for whatever reason. Trae this year, 21 and 12, 12 assists a game, solid. 38% shooting, 31% from three, which doesn't stop him from launching the 29-footers. Free throws are down to 6 a game. They used to be at 9. Turnovers, highest they've ever been, 4.6. And with all of that said, it's the perfect team for him. He's got swings everywhere. He's got a bunch of guys to protect him on defense. Daniels, whoever the other team's point guard is, you saw it with the Knicks game with Brunson. Daniels can guard every team's point guard, small guard, whoever it is. Mitchell, Garland, name a guy. You can put Daniels on. They're playing the Bucks. He can guard Dame Lillard. He can guard anybody in the league who's under 6'8". And Jalen Johnson, you know, if you're ranking the swings, Jalen Johnson, Daniels, OG Anunoby, and Bridges, I think I would take Jalen Johnson over the other three guys. And Daniels is going to be a first-team All-NBA defense guy. So, perfect spot for Trae. He's got rebounding. He's got shot blocking. He's got lob guys. He's got tall, interchangeable shooters all over the place. And I was thinking, like, what would the trade be? Should maybe they go get Cam Johnson? It's like, I'm not even sure they need to do a trade, especially now that Bogdanovich is back and they have some six-man scoring stuff. It really comes down to Trae Young. How good is he? Because he is in the perfect race car for him right now. And maybe over the course of these next 20, 25 games, he's going to start figuring it out. He's a guy that you saw in the Knicks game at MSG. The bigger the stage, the more he seems to like it, whether he's missing 29-footers or not. He's one of him and LaMelo are the two irrational confidence superstars that we have right now. And if we're ever going to find out that Trae Young can be a real piece on a team that wins 50 games and actually competes in a real way, it should start happening right around now. So maybe we'll see it. Maybe we'll see it on Saturday against Milwaukee in the NBA Cup. Anyway, that was today's 6 major things. Remember, Michelob Ultra Courtside gets you closer to the game than ever before. Check out michelobultra.com/courtside to learn how you can get closer to the action. Enjoy responsibly. 2024 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri. Michelob Ultra Superior Access Courtside 24-25 Sweepstakes. No purchase necessary. Open U.S. residents 21 plus begins on 10/1/24 and ends on 7/1/25. Multiple entry periods. Visit michelobultra.com/courtside for free entry. Entry deadlines and official rules. Message and data rates may apply. Void where prohibited. We will be back with Sec Rickerson talking about that. Hey, sometimes in basketball, 30 points could be worth more than 30 points. Right now, you can get a 30% profit boost from the Ringer with game days 30 on 30 during Friday's NBA action. We did this during the NBA Cup games. It was successful. We did it last week. It was successful. I've been tweeting out my picks on Friday. We're doing really well. You can go back and check the receipts. The Ringer, teaming up with America's #1 sportsbook to give you a 30% profit boost. You either pick a player to score more than 30 points or bet on the new exclusive 30 on 30 special markets like any game. Go nuts. You could have both teams score 30 plus points in the first quarter. That could be the bet. FanDuel hooked us up. I love this. I love trying to figure out who's going to score 30 points. I've been pretty good at it so far. Knock on wood. Hopefully we'll keep going. Look for 30 on 30 in the FanDuel Sportsbook app or head to FanDuel.com/BS for your chance to score a bigger payout this Friday. Don't miss your chance to find out how much more 30 could be worth. With FanDuel, 30 on 30. Must be 21 plus and present in select states or 18 plus and present in DC. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. All right, we're taping this on Thursday morning. Seth Wickersham is here from ESPN. He's popped on here a few times and talked about big picture NFL shenanigans at the coach owner scale and other stuff, and the Patriots and Belichick shocking them to a lot of people goes back to college. He wrote about it for ESPN today. I don't really even know where to begin, but I guess I'll start here. People see the stories however they feel about Belichick is my takeaway. And I'm just judging from the people on my right about it. The people who love Belichick, think he's a great coach. I can't believe there was another NFL job for him. The people who are done with his style of doing thought he was a little overrated are all like, nobody in the NFL wanted him. And the truth is, the story really hits both sides of that spectrum, right?
There's no doubt. And I think that what makes that interesting is that like that reflects a lot of the coach, GM, and owner divide in the NFL. I mean, I think that like rank and file coaches, ask Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Sean Payton, ask any of those guys if they think Bill Belichick should be coaching in the NFL, and you won't even be able to finish the sentence before they say yes. Whereas at the GM level there, and the ownership level, there's just so much concern. And I think that part of it is his record. Part of it is, the last half of the dynasty, certainly, Robert Kraft made no secret that he could be impossible to work with at times, even as they were winning. But I think that there's just a sense that even if Belichick is willing to be deferential to existing infrastructures and existing GMs, whoever they might be, there's a sense that, like, if you hire this guy, you got to kind of let him do it his way and give him the keys, even if he's not technically asking for it. And I think what changed, 2024 has been an interesting year for Belichick, and we should talk about that. But what changed, I think, was that I think that he began to think, maybe I don't really want this, and I don't want to take the risk and wait in January, hoping that I might get one interview and might get one job when I can go to a program that I've got a little bit of history with, have the space to win or lose on my terms, and end my career that way.
All right, so there's two major things to unpack there. Mm-hmm. One is, how do I even know if I'll get a job in January? And then the other piece is, how do I know I want the job? So we'll talk about the league dynamics, because I think that's such a big part of this. He had such a bad experience with the Crafts the last 5 to 7 years, really starting with the stuff you were writing about in the mid-2010s, that I think, and I was one of them, a lot of the Patriot fans who had gone through Deflategate and Spygate, and then people were starting to write about the dissension between Kraft and Belichick and Brady, and all of us were like, fuck you, there's no dissension, we're fine. But then, as the years passed, clearly there was. But I think the Kraft thing got so dysfunctional the last 5 years, and if you didn't believe it, you just had to watch the Apple Doc, which was one of the most insane pieces of sports content anyone's ever released, where it was just an absolute hatchet job that tried to erase Belichick, especially from the first 3 Super Bowls, where I don't care where you stand on the Belichick versus Brady thing, Belichick was the bigger reason they won the first 3 Super Bowls. It's a fact. The way he put the roster together, the defense he had, the game planning, and it was almost like they knew that, so they had to steer it toward everything that happened after that. And part of me wonders, was he just so disenchanted with his experience with the Kraft that if he looks around the available jobs and you see father-son duo, incompetent franchise, father-son duo, and he's just looking around going, that was awful. I was already in that situation. Maybe I could have control over my own situation. So just the NFL infrastructure, which we've written about a lot, is it more dysfunctional than we even know about? Because there's maybe 7 franchises that are run smoothly and correctly, and then 2/3 of the league at least are kind of a disaster?
Totally, and I think that, like, first of all, to go back to, like, the early part of the dynasty, like, you and I talked about it when my Patriots book came out. I mean, those were hugely formative years because Belichick finally had the people, the quarterback in place to do what he had in his mind for so long in terms of, like, being able to create an actual team. And, that's where that ethos started. And I think that, like, Ray Thompson and I and Dan Natter reported on it a year ago to say that, Belichick really felt like the Krafts had eroded what he had built in the past couple of years. Krafts, of course, were pissed off that he let Brady walk out, and, he told Kraft that Brady couldn't play anymore, and he goes wins the Super Bowl. But then, 2024. He gets fired by the Krafts, even though they call it a mutual parting of ways. Kraft later comes out and says that, he was fired.
Well, and he was also telling everyone in NFL circles, like, yeah, I fired him.
Exactly.